is the pin numbers. So in pin numbers, you need to find out, and these are the ports. What are the pins of any port can do what task? So each CCP is one of the particular task that can be performed by some of the pins. Not all the pins can do this task, or not all the pins are connected to these modules. So what are the what are the pins? So first I can find out that CCP5 is connected with RA4 and CCP4 is connected with RB0. And in this way, we can find out CCP2 is connected with RB3 and CCP generate my signal. Then I need to configure this pin first. So first I need to configure this pin and then this pin. So whenever we are generating the pulse width modulation or pulses, we need to give it as the output. So I need to configure this pin as the output. Okay. So first thing is I need to configure this RC2 pin, and the second thing we need to do now, whenever we want to generate any pulse, we need to define what are the parameters we need to generate any pulse. So if I want to generate this pulse, I need to tell what is the on time, what is the period of this signal, right? So I need to tell my microcontroller what is the period and how long this one will be on. So this on time I can give as a duty cycle, and this one I need to give as a period. So these two parameters I need to give to generate any signal. Now, in order to give this period, I need to measure the time, right? To set the period, and that period will determine the signal frequency and set the duty cycle. Now, these two parameters, in order to set, I need to use, so this period is related to time. That means I need to use a timer, and that timer I can use from any of the timer. So pulse width modulation has different output, period and duty cycle resolution. So this period, if you take a look, I need to configure these 4 parameters. So this period is stored in PRM. I have used here, these are the 4 resistor I need to configure. And first 2 resistor, the first one is PR. So PRM indicates this is the period of, say I will use a particular CCP module, right? If I want to use CCP module 1, then this M indicates 1. If I want, sorry, this one is related to the timer, okay? So this one I can, so for in order to generate a pulse, I need 2 parameters. One is the period, another is the duty cycle. So period is related to the time. So time means I need to use a timer. So that means this period has to be related with the timer. So I need to configure a resistor that is called PR, and this M indicates which timer I will be using. So that means this resistor is directly related to the timer that you are going to use for this period, and you need to configure this resistor to configure the period of your signal. Am I clear? So M indicates that which timer you are going to use, and you need to configure that this resistor, this particular resistor is related to that timer. So every timer has this particular resistor, and you can access to any of the timer to set this period. Now, next these two resistors are related to the CCP module. You can find out the name CCP R and L. So and CCP and CON. So these are two modules directly related to CCP module. And these two modules will need to be configured for duty cycle. So that means two resistor for the period, that is PRM and TM con. So these two resistor will be for period of the pulse and two resistor for the duty cycle. Am I clear? The one module, this is the one module, and this is connected with my RC2. Okay, so that means I want to use the CCP1 module to get my signal at RC2 pin. Okay, so first thing you need to do before you do anything with this CCP module, we want to configure my pin that I want to get output signal from this pin. So I need to configure this pin as a output pin. So whenever you have done this configuration, this is the general configuration of the pin, how you are going to use that pin. Then what do we want? We want to configure the CCP module. I want to tell what would be the property of my signal. What signal I want to get from this output. And if you take a look of any pulse, that in order to generate any pulse, I need two important. From the microcontroller, I cannot get more than 5 volt, right? So I am assuming that it will be 5. So if you consider that this magnitude is fixed, then we need another 2 parameter to tell my microcontroller. What are the parameter? I need to tell what would be the period of this signal. That means what is this frequency or what is the period of this signal. So I need to tell this T, capital T, and I need to tell how long of this period, how long it will be on. And this on time is dependent on the duty cycle. So I need to tell, or in simple words, we need two parameters to be given. One is capital T, another is capital T on. So if you want to generate a particular pulse, then I need these two parameters. And these two parameters are given in 4 resistors. So involve these two parameters, but we need to use these 4 resistor to set these two parameters. So first two is related to the period of this signal. So this period of this signal, one is called the period resistor, another is called the T-con resistor. Now these two should be related. So if you use timer 1, then your period resistor should be PR1. If you use timer 2, then your period resistor would be PR2. Okay, that's why I have used here M. These two should be same. So PRM and TM should be same. That means I cannot use one period resistor, say PR1 and timer resistor T2. That I cannot use because they are related. So you need to use same PRM and TM con resistor. So timer should be involved, should be the same because these two are related. Am I clear? So period resistor number suffix, or you will be using number, period number, resistor number M and TM con should be the same value. So if it is period 2, then it should be T2. If it is period 4, then it should be T4. Okay, so always this one is fixed, but you are flexible. You can use any of the timer. There are 6, 7 timers available for our microcontroller. We can use 135 and 246. So these 4 timer can be used. Then we need to use now duty cycle. So duty cycle will be configured using CCP R N L. So CCP register the which CCP you want to use, and the CCP con register has to be configured. Okay, so for duty cycle we want to configure CCP R N L and CCP N con. Okay, these two register has to be used